Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Jason Morgan wakes up on Wednesday feeling the weight of a reality he cannot ignore anymore. For days, he's been pushing through the chaos with that same familiar determination, trusting his instincts, relying on muscle memory, and keeping his focus sharp. But now the cracks are beginning to show. The lingering injuries, the unanswered questions, and the people depending on him are forming a pressure point he can't simply shove aside. Jason tries to ground himself in the present, but every step reminds him that he's not the same man who once walked into danger without hesitation. His return to Port Charles wasn't supposed to be like this. He wasn't supposed to feel weakened, slowed down, or unsure. Yet that's exactly where he finds himself as he moves through the day. He's starting to recognize that there's a cost to everything he's survived. Every risk, every scar, every moment he pushed forward without resting has finally stacked high enough that even he can't deny the truth. He's reaching a limit he never imagined he'd face. As he takes a moment alone, trying to gather his breath and settle his thoughts, the truth hits him harder than any enemy ever could. If he doesn't face this now, if he doesn't acknowledge what's happening, he might not be able to protect the people he's come back for. But the quiet moment doesn't last long. Harrison Chase walks in with an expression that gives Jason no room for comfort. Chase's news hits fast, direct, and heavy. There's a seriousness in Chase's voice that makes Jason straighten despite the ache in his body. Whatever Jason thought he was preparing for, Chase's report is far worse. It's not just alarming. It's a red siren warning that everything is about to shift in a way none of them expected. Someone has moved, someone has acted, and the consequences are coming straight toward all of them. Chase lays out what he's learned, each detail landing with more urgency than the last. There's evidence that someone has been watching, waiting, and gathering information far more precisely than anyone realized. The threat isn't distant. It isn't hypothetical. It's already circling closer to Port Charles. Jason tries to analyze every angle, but Chase can see the struggle behind his eyes. He knows Jason is trying to hold everything together while pushing through pain he refuses to acknowledge. Chase respects his strength, but today he needs Jason focused and clear. There's no time for hesitation. Not anymore. Jason pushes his exhaustion down, determined not to let the situation slip out of control. As Chase continues, it becomes clear that someone may be targeting several people connected to Jason's return. The pattern is too deliberate, too calculated. Jason's instincts flare again as he tries to connect the dots, but the picture forming is too big for him to handle on his own right now. He needs backup, and he needs it fast. Meanwhile, across town, Nathan West and Dante Falconeri are already deep into their own strategy session. Both men sense the tension rippling through Port Charles. They haven't heard the details Chase has uncovered yet, but they've seen enough pieces shifting around them to know something is building. Nathan goes over the reports they've already collected, small incidents, unusual movements, inconsistencies in statements that wouldn't stand out on their own, but together form a pattern that's impossible to ignore. Dante paces, trying to put the puzzle together. He can feel it in his gut. Something is closing in. His instincts are screaming that whatever's coming is connected to Jason, to recent events, and to threats that have been lingering beneath the surface for far too long. Nathan agrees. They both know that when things start moving this quickly, when loose ends suddenly tighten, it's not by accident. Someone orchestrated this. The two detectives begin mapping out possibilities, exploring motives, identifying people who may be hiding more than they're admitting. Nathan tries to keep the conversation grounded, focusing on the facts, but Dante can't ignore the emotional weight pressing on him. This isn't just another case. It feels personal. It feels like a storm targeting the people he cares about. And he refuses to be caught unprepared. As they go deeper, they start forming a plan. It isn't perfect, and they know they'll have to adapt as new information comes in, but they have no choice. They need to stay ahead of whatever force is moving against them. With every minute that passes, the urgency grows. They know they need to bring Chase into the loop, and they'll likely need to loop Jason in too. But Dante hesitates. He knows Jason isn't at full strength, and involving him could put him at even greater risk. Still, leaving Jason in the dark could be even more dangerous. It's a decision Dante knows he'll have to make quickly. Back on Jason's side, Chase notices the tension tightening in Jason's jaw. He can tell Jason is already planning his next steps, even though he can barely stand without bracing himself. Chase tries to intervene, reminding him that he needs to slow down before he collapses in the middle of a crisis. Jason doesn't respond. He just focuses, steadying himself, refusing to show any weakness. But Chase sees it anyway. And for the first time, Chase wonders if Jason might actually be pushing himself into danger he can't walk back from. Jason takes a moment to weigh everything Chase has said. He knows the threat is real. He knows he might be the primary target. And he knows that if he doesn't act now, people he cares about could pay the price. The doubts about his strength, his stamina, and his state of mind are loud, but the responsibility he feels is louder. Even if he's not at 100%, he feels he has no choice but to step into the center of the danger. As Chase finishes his briefing, Jason realizes he needs to reconnect with the people who can help him most. Nathan and Dante are two of the few people who can analyze a situation like this with precision, and Jason trusts them. But reaching them will require him to admit out loud what he's barely admitted to himself. He's struggling, and he might not be able to handle this on his own. Across town, Nathan and Dante reach the same conclusion from a different direction. They need Jason's insight. Whatever's happening is too closely tied to his past, his enemies, and the chaos surrounding his return. They can't move forward without looping him in, whether he's ready or not. The tension builds as all three sides begin moving toward the same point. Jason prepares himself for a confrontation that will require everything he has left. Chase braces for fallout from the news he's delivered, knowing things are about to accelerate. Nathan and Dante sharpen their strategy, ready to take action the moment Jason joins them. And as the episode's momentum tightens, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Wednesday in Port Charles is not a day of small developments. It's a turning point. A warning shot. A deep tremor before the true impact lands. Jason's harsh reality, Chase's alarming discovery, and the escalating coordination between Nathan and Dante are all threads twisting together into something bigger, something darker, something none of them fully understand yet. But whether they're ready or not, the storm is here. And once it hits, nothing in Port Charles will be the same. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.